Hello, hello. Come in, everyone. Come in. Join us on a journey through time and space to the world of the polyverse. Yes, sir. Howdy, y'all. How y'all doing out there? Hope you're doing well. We're chilling today. We're going to do another Poly podcast episode. Happy holidays and a Merry New Year. Hope you've all been having a lovely time this December as the rotation of the Earth around the Sun is about to start again. Fingers crossed. I just had a delicious kale salad. Not everyone's a fan of kale, but I am. Took a little while to grow on me, but I'm a fan now. Cool, everything is up and running. We are going. I kind of want to test my audio as well, because I know this microphone. It's one of the new ones, secondhand new ones that I bought. What is it? A Shure Beta 57A. Yes, now you can see it. This little handheld device right here being held up by its own stand, of course. And as you can see, we've moved locations yet again. I've got my bike over there. And some workout equipment that you may be familiar with. A little shelving unit, a little shelf. I'm still moving stuff around. I'm moving stuff around again. The moving never stops, guys. Never stops. Oh, goodness. And I have to move this table again, I think. Because someone needs to come in and do some works. The electric switchboard for the entire office is right above the computer screens. So I may need to shuffle it over so that they can get in there. Past my enormous elaborate streaming setup. I saw a brilliant meme the other day. As you guys know, if you know me, you know I love generalizing generations. I don't know why. I find it fun to find, the characteristics that seem to be general characteristics of generations. And so, of course, it's location-based and stuff like that, but, we don't think about that. It was like about millennials, and it said, born too early. I forget the order. Born too late to get in on, ever owning a house. Born too early to become a famous TikToker. Born at just the right time to own 2 monitors and a LED keyboard and a computer setup that looks a lot like mine. And yes, I'm a millennial. I'm 30 years old now. And it's too true. It hits me right in the heart, right in the feels. Gosh darn it. But yeah, I need to check my audio levels. So bear with me. I know there's a way that I can like hear myself in the headphones. I don't know how to do that. But I'm just going to record it and check. Actually, I'm going to just turn on the stream and check. There's going to be another one of those trippy moments for me and you. Okay. I'm going to turn on the stream volume and see how I sound. Okay. The audio is kind of whack. It's kind of sensitive. I turned it up really high. So maybe that's why. I need to look at the advice that Grumbly Ghost gave me and Static in the Polyverse Discord. Let's see. I know they said not to speak directly into the microphone necessarily, so I've kind of got it on an angle. It's a bit of a trickery of the camera, but it's on a slight angle to me. From my face, from my mouth. Let's see. The wisdom of the Polyverse disciples. Let us see. Okay. Oh yeah, this recommended a pop filter, pop shield. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can make it right in front of me and then turn it down. Just on an angle. So how about this? How about a little bit of this? How does this sound? Let's test this out. S's. I gotta say a lot of S's and P's. Peter Piper picked a bunch of pickled peppers. Okay, it's kind of, it sounds interesting. Snappity, sip, snippity, snip, shibbity, snap. It's not too bad, honestly. I think I need like a pop filter to make it any better. We'll go with it. We're chilling. So that's audio setup. Now we will be talking about a new project. When you all thought, Talker, you're busy enough, you stream as it is, you're scatterbrained enough, you're spreading yourself too thin on that delicious bread of peanut butter. And all these things are true. And obviously a lot of life stuff has been happening, as you all know. Nothing bad, all good things. Thankfully, it's, moving houses and things like that, and becoming an adult and selling the house that I once owned. So that kind of millennial meme goes out the window. You know, I did happen to own a home for a short while, for just over a year. And I'm looking at buying an apartment now, or not yet, very soon, during this year. And so all these things are happening in the background, and yes, I have spread myself a bit thin. Ooh, lights up my face so much better when I have a white screen on the computer. I do have my white LED lights in front of me, but I've got them set up in a way so that they're not as direct as they used to be, unfortunately. But yes, all these things are true, but nonetheless, I've started another project, although in fact, it's an old project that I've just completed. So there's that. So we're going to talk about that today. And because, the big projects that I have on the go, the website, the books, they require a lot of energy and attention. So this is something that, honestly, I finished writing just over the course of a week, because I'd already written most of it, already had the groundworks laid out. But now the rest of it's going to take some time. But yeah, we'll talk about it more soon. I'm feeling a bit lightheaded. I've been getting lightheaded after I eat sometimes, which is kind of weird lately. I think it's something to do with like FODMAP stuff. I don't know. I'm getting like trapped wind in my chest, like burps stuck up in my chest, making me lightheaded. I don't know. I read about it. I'm just going to chug from this jug of water. This hefty thing. Often get a sore hand just opening this. And holding it. So yeah, that's what's on the docket for today. And what a good opportunity to chuck on a stream. To do a little stream while I'm in the office. And obviously there will be more streams going into the new year. Still sporadically, because obviously I'm still moving around. But I just like to keep that egg there, I do want to do streams regularly one day, but I'm not really in a rush to. We get all hyped up on our productivity culture and stuff like that, and I certainly have myself and still do now and especially in the past, from, inheriting it from the people around you, family and friends and everything. It's pretty pervasive in our culture, the pressure to perform and to be productive. And we can put that a lot on ourselves. But I'm in a really good place with life at the moment. And I'm enjoying what I do. I'm enjoying the creative stuff on the side. Obviously, I'd love to be able to make some sort of even just a part-time living off of creative stuff, but I figured if it's going to happen, I'm going to get there. I'm slowly chugging away at it day by day anyway. So streams will be happening. They'll eventually become more frequent, and eventually even more stuff will come to the light, like we'll be discussing today. A project that's honestly been years in the works because I just have put it to the wayside and gone to other projects instead of finishing it. And it still isn't finished yet, honestly. Just the writing is finished. So yeah, it's still going to be a while, but it's something that I've been wanting to try for a long time. But I can't say too much yet. We need to hold it off for the official podcast to talk about it, to get into it, the Poly podcast, of which I also have things to talk about that we could talk about now, actually. The Poly podcast, guys. As you all may remember from probably not last episode where we did IKEA products, the funny episode. I hope you all enjoyed that as well, by the way. I've got a lot more funny episode ideas planned. I'm super keen on that. I like breaking that in slowly because I've done a lot of reflective, like personal journaling kind of podcast episodes. And a massive side of my writing, of my life, is comedy. I listen to comedy podcasts all day. I read funny books, audio books, comedy shows I love. Peep Show, I've been rewatching recently. It's one of my favorites. That British humor. Oh, a movie series that I really want to... I might do a full YouTube video on this. A movie series, there's like 4 of them, called The Trip. I really recommend them. They're on Stan in Australia. They're a British comedy series of films that are just about Rob Brydon and Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon, who really look like each other. They're really similar, British middle-aged white gentlemen. Strange men. And they're just playing heightened versions of themselves, going on like food trips around England and then different countries in the other movies. And I love those movies. I want to do a full breakdown of them on the Polyverse YouTube channel. God, all the tangents we're breaking off into just as I speak. But yeah, comedy is a massive part of my day-to-day life. And like I said, especially my creative process, especially my writing. So it's kind of funny that the Polyverse or the Poly podcast has been a lot of serious personal journaling, reflections kind of stuff. It's obviously been sprinklings of comedy intertwined with that. It's unavoidable. It's unavoidable. You know, it's just the way I come across. I know I have this awkward demeanor, which is 50% on purpose, 50% by accident. And I love it. I love that. I play into it. So it's all a part of it. And I'm going to do more of the comedy podcast. That's 100% on the horizon. But also, as I was getting to, the Poly podcast, as I was talking about on the previous episode before the IKEA products one, where it was like the return of the Poly podcast, I talked about this idea of releasing more podcasts. They're just such a great medium as a writer, as are live streams. And I really gravitate towards podcasts and live streams 100%, especially with my own consumption as well as a consumer of content on the internet. Hey, Grumbly Ghost, welcome in. Yes, I was saying earlier, this is all a new background. We're in the same office, but I've moved my setup once again. And I fear that I may have to move it again, though I'll move it back to this spot. I just have to move it again because I have the electricity control panel for the entire office space above my head here. And I think someone needs to do some works on it, I've been told. So I might need to move my huge double monitor setup thing to the side while that's done. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like it. So refreshing, so chic. Yes, I've got my single speed bicycle over there. Whew, we'll be zooming down the streets on that one. And then on the other side of me, we have the shelf that you couldn't see before on stream. I'm going to actually turn it so that it's facing us, so that it's against the back wall, where the classic, what do I call that, divider is. That's the stream background fairly frequently. I'm going to put it there so you can see the objects on it, because there's some iconic stream and YouTube video objects on that shelf, as well as some aesthetic objects too. So that's going to be there. That's going to be the background. Oh, also the workout equipment, of course, the yellow bars. There's dumbbells below those. And on the door, I just noticed, I've got this elastic band. Very good. I highly recommend those bands. You can just get them from Kmart or Rebel Sport or anywhere. Very good for resistance training, for like a bit of yoga stuff. Very good. You can control how difficult it is, and you don't have to buy a whole gym to use it, and you can get in a good workout, you know. Just have one of those around. I use that quite frequently. But yeah, how you doing, Grumbly? Hope you've been having a good day, a good Saturday, getting your weekend kicked off right. Have you been getting settled in to your new place and everything else? It's a long process, isn't it? Getting adapted and getting settled and getting things set up as well. I certainly know about that. Unpacking boxes, oh, the fun of box unpacking. My God. I've probably shared it on stream before. I just got rid of one of them, unfortunately, but I have heaps of these big plastic, hefty, like industrial-sized boxes. I love them. Get them from Bunnings for like $10. I love them. They're real heavy-duty ones. I don't get the most expensive ones because they're like $50. But I love the $10 to $20 range ones. They're still heavy-duty. They're still going to last a long time. They're awesome. I'm thinking I'm going to buy like 20 of those when I move. and then they're stackable and everything. So I'm going to get a van, get 20 of those, stack all of my stuff, mainly Emma's stuff, to be honest, in Perth, of course, because, you know, Emma has a lot of trinkets and whatnot. And then we obviously have a lot of shared books and things like that to stack in there. A lot of it's my stuff too, you know. I just try to be as minimalist as I can, but it's difficult. It's difficult when you're this lavish, you know, living this lavish life that I live. Still can't find certain things like the vacuum cleaner charger. Oh God, you always lose something moving, you know. It's just the way it is, I reckon. Yeah, I think we have those same ones. They're so good if you want to borrow some of ours. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I may actually take you up on that. I may buy a few myself and then see if you have some spare in a few months' time. We shall see. I love them. I love the stackable boxes. They're just so handy. But yeah, I've got a horror story. Not a horror story. I'm being very dramatic for stream's sake. This is just how I talk in general. But I've got a horror story, a thing that'll make your skin crawl, a blood-curdling scream of a tale of when I moved apartments in England. And our friend was helping us. He had a van. And we're packing stuff. You know, we're going from the apartment to the van, back and forth. It wasn't very far. It was like 20 meters. But, you know, I had a box that was literally filled with valuables. It was like a necklace that I'd been gifted by my mum, had like my initials engraved on it, things like that. I can't remember what else was in it because it was so long ago now. Probably had like a nice ring. It just had like various valuable things. It was like a box of stuff that I kept tucked away in the cupboard kind of thing. And I completely lost it. I don't know where the hell it went. I have a feeling that either I chucked it in the bin by accident, although I searched through the bin multiple times, couldn't find it, or someone just like grabbed it out the back of the van. I have no idea. Things get lost in moves. It sucks. It really sucks. And then in moves as well, you realize how much crap you have, and then you just want to get rid of a bunch of things. It's a good way of taking what's called stock keeping, to put it in a retail term. Taking note of what you have, taking stock. My goodness. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying the joys of box unpacking, my friend. Is the place everything you hoped for? Does it feel good being there now? Yeah, but you get to the point where you just cram junk into a box. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just throwing stuff in there, and then you're like, I'll deal with it when I unpack it in months' time. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness. What do I need to do? Yeah, I need to move this set up a little bit more. It's come a long way. Like I said, the streams have been periodic, so I've had time to do lots of stuff in the background. The new place is great. Can't wait to have you and Em over for dinner. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for the invite as well. It's going to be fun. I'm very keen. It'll be a good movie night. And, yeah, a good way to, what's it called? Housewarming party? Yeah, make it feel like home as well. I don't know if I said as well, but the sale went through on my house just before Christmas. So that is all done, and I'm very, very, very pleased, and I'm very excited also for the next step in the journey. Very similar to yours, is hopefully moving into an apartment later in the year. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's been good. It was a lot of learning, a lot of weird stresses that I didn't expect, but it all worked out in the end, and I knew it would, you know. It's just like you're just chugging along. Okay? And I learned so much about about the process of selling a place. Not that I imagine I'll be doing it much throughout my life, but yeah, learning stuff is fun, I guess. Hey, no stress, buddy, no stress. See you in a sec. So, on the topic of podcasts, Grumbly Ghost, who we were just speaking with, is the co-host. We together we host It Lives on Tape podcast, who I'm sure many of you are familiar with. It's our horror movie podcast. And that was a massive project that we kicked off in 2023. And that was a big part of where my energies went in 2023, outside of all the, regular day-to-day house moving and all the stuff that I was doing over the year as well. Hey, thank you, Nightbot. Come join the Discord. If anyone's in town, come on down to the Polyverse Discord, where I am right now in the voice chat, actually on the voice channel. If you want to pop in and have a little chat on the airways. So It Lives on Tape was a massive project Grumbly Ghost and I undertook. And it's been incredible. We're actually in the process right now of editing our final 2 episodes of, I guess, you could say 2023 or unofficial first season. I don't know. I don't think we're going to do seasons, but, we're going to have a bit of a break so that we can do live stuff. Like Grumbly Ghost is moving into his new place and whatnot. So we're in the process of releasing our final 2 episodes, which are really exciting, really big releases. They're super cool. I'm really keen for you guys to see that. I'm going to get back into the editing studio for that next week. So that'll be awesome. But we're releasing shorts as well. If you guys follow us, It Lives on Tape on everything. Our main platform is YouTube, Spotify, and then Instagram. A bit on TikTok as well. And Threads, the new one, Threads. I'm not sure how new. Does it count as being new anymore? I don't even know when it released. It was like the start of 2023, maybe. Halfway through. But yeah, It Lives on Tape podcast was a massive endeavor that made me realize, it reinvigorated my love for podcasting, I got to say. That was awesome. And so on one of the previous Poly podcast episodes, I talked about podcasting and how important I think it would be for myself just to communicate as a writer. And I was talking about the idea of starting different ideas for podcasts, obviously kicking off Poly Podcast again, as we have been doing fairly regularly now, which is really cool. And yeah, I had different ideas for podcasts. I had crazy ones, like I could tell you now, like a windy podcast, because it's super windy where my parents live, where I am now in WA. And I thought I'd just go to the beach, take calls on my phone and record it, and it would just be wind blaring. Completely asinine, stupid idea, but I think there's a comedy element to it. I had a little format planned, so that could be a thing. And I was thinking I could have like multiple podcasts, and then I have lots of short story series that I'm in the process of writing. Several ones. One is, of course, The Tale of Felicity Strange with Pixel Kohai, PK ASMR on YouTube, I believe. Fellow streamer, Pixel Kohai. And she actually did a ASMR reading of the first short story, Felicity Strange. And it's like diary entries, like high fantasy comedy adventures kind of thing. So that's one of them. And I thought I'll take stories like that. I've got multiple others. And I could make them into like audiobook type things on Spotify in a podcast format. You see lots of those get released, especially on podcasts now. There's like so many series, honestly. There was one I was listening to, which is like the Pale Blood audiobook, which is like, I forget the name. It's a Dark Souls game. Bloodborne. It's like Bloodborne lore. There's ones, obviously No Sleep podcast is really good. They just like read stories from the No Sleep subreddit, which are all, community-driven horror stories. Stuff like that. There's over these big ones that are being made on Spotify at the moment as well. I'm sure there are on other platforms too, but Spotify is the main one that I think people use. I was listening to one that was like about Gotham and Batman. So there's a lot of cool stuff, and there's obviously a lot of indie ones as well that I dip my toes into every now and again. And I like that. I like that a lot. I want to do more audio readings of short stories, and of course release them on YouTube and stuff, but also release them in the sort of chapter by chapter podcast format. And I was thinking the only way to do that would be to have a story already written and then release it sort of week by week installments, and then it's all out there on its own channel, the name of the story, Felicity Strange or whatever it is. I've got, what's some of the other ones I have? Words That Work is a funny one that I've been doing. I've actually been posting it on Facebook, just random stuff like that. Words That Work, and then, parts 1 through to 10 or however many there will be. But I think a lot of these stories I want to continue on in perpetuity almost, Like, I don't know what the end of them will be. Eventually, I'm sure there'll be an end. But also, I thought, we're a small studio here at Polyverse. It's me and a bunch of friends, and I'm collabing with these friends and stuff like that. And we don't get like a whole bunch of, monetization or views or anything on different platforms and stuff. So I've been kind of thinking about, it's hard for me to think about branding and stuff like that. It's a topic that I often ponder about. How to navigate the like ever-evolving social media landscape and internet, being a digital media creator and stuff like that. How to put yourself out there as a brand. And there's a lot of things I realized recently, especially with myself when I made the top 50 long list for a short story competition. And it was obviously under my name, Torkel Tenberg. And then people were finding my like personal social medias, which I am barely active on. I'm just active on like Polyverse ones. I'm like Polyverse on everything, or Polyverse Cult on stuff like Instagram. Because Polyverse was taken, which I'm working on getting, actually. We'll see. But yeah, so they found me through my name and my personal ones, which are hardly active, and I thought, oh, shivers. Okay, I need to think about this a little bit. I need to put my own name in Polyverse as well, of course. So I've been doing that. I've been rewriting some of the bios, the SEOs on some of the social media platforms and whatnot, as well as the website itself. And where was I going with all this? Yeah, how to put yourself out as a brand online. It's a tricky thing for me. I don't quite understand it, but it's interesting. As a digital media creative kind of guy, I find it really interesting. So I've sort of turned the YouTube channel of Polyverse, which is also youtube.com/ or I think the tag is, they do like channel tags on YouTube now, so you can just type at Polyverse Cult. Polyverse was taken on YouTube as well. God damn it. Some old inactive channel. So that's another one I'm working on. But anyway, I turned that into like a hub where there's just videos uploading constantly, and like live stream VODs from the Twitch channel, cuts from specific YouTube videos that I've made, little snippets from They Lives on Tape podcast as well, even though that has its own channel, of course. It lives on tape on YouTube. And yeah, so I like actually the idea of, until things grow big enough, like, whatever it is, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, everything else. I was considering this for Instagram as well, and I'm building to something. Sorry, I know it sounds like I'm rambling a lot. This isn't the podcast yet, so we can ramble. This is the live stream, we got to fill the air. Until you've grown to a point where it's really worth branching off and making other names for things and separate channels and whatnot, I think it's fine and even good to keep everything under the same name. And I think it makes a lot of sense under the Polyverse banner as well, because it's supposed to be like this digital media cult aesthetic that's under my name and my collaborators, for the time being. Could evolve into anything. That's what it is at the moment. And so that's how I've been treating the YouTube channel, as I said. That's how I've been treating the Instagram as well. Polyverse Cult on Instagram. I was considering making it into different Instagram accounts as well, because I do sample text Zine, which is a zine. I don't know how people pronounce it, which is my like digital art which I title sample text, because it started off as a zine that I made years ago. That was the originator of that Instagram. It was just sample text, and then Polyverse was just written in the bio. And then I finally realized, I was like, no, I have to call this Polyverse. I can't just not have, not even have Polyverse associated with it. That's weird. So, and then I started putting the infamous, maybe one of the most successful things that I've done is the car poetry and the like talkable poetry, where I'm playing this heightened character version of myself, where I'm like this super successful poet and I'm just like reading a story, and I'm doing them as reels, right? So they're on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. So I started incorporating other things other than sample text, is what I'm saying. And then also we do collaborative cross-posting with the It Lives on Tape podcast account on Instagram, on the Polyverse Cult account. So I thought, no, what's the point of creating all these subsects? Because I was like, I could create a sample text subsect, like another Instagram account for that, and then it would just be like a full gallery of all the artwork. And I like the aesthetic of that, but it's a lot, I'm out here hustling on these internet streets. I'm doing it all behind the scenes, as it were. And I like the hub. Now that I think about it more and more, I like the hub aspect to it. If in the future it grows into a bigger thing, then sure, separating it, making its own thing, that'd be cool. And maybe someone, can help with that. But for now, I like the hub and just building up the hub. Even if people don't like one thing, hopefully they stay for the thing that they do like. And we'll keep it at that. So, what I was getting at, in a roundabout way, the podcast's ideas that I had for Spotify and whatnot, I think keeping them as a hub as well. Obviously, hey, welcome back, Grumbly Ghost. I just went on a massive ramble about digital media branding on social media and stuff like that, and how I've been learning about it. Yes, just in time. I was just about to say. So something that I'll give you a quick TLDR. I was talking about this idea of digital media branding and how I've been tossing up this idea in my head of, should I keep everything, say YouTube, Instagram in particular, the big ones, should I keep everything that I do under the podcast name? Or should I have all these small branching off channels and accounts for the different types of projects that I do, like on Instagram, sample text, have a separate account for that. And I thought, yeah, that's cool. But while all this is all small, and I'm doing it all kind of thing, I think I'm going to keep it all under a hub, all under the Polyverse. And obviously, I was saying things like It Lives on Tape, where we're working on it together. That's separate, and we cross-post and things like that, and that works really well. But for all the solo Polyverse sort of stuff that I'm working on, I think it only makes sense that I keep it all under the Polyverse hub. And that leads me to what I was building up to, this idea of multiple podcasts that we've spoke about. I had the idea for the Windy podcast. I've had ideas for short stories being released as podcasts, episode by episode. And I thought that'd be awesome to have them all on a collection on Spotify kind of thing. And then I'll write them all, and then I'll put them all out week by week. And then that's that section done, that story done. That's all wrapped up. All in one works well, I think. I see Polyverse as your internet artist name. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to, be. But I also said earlier, I'm also trying to incorporate my own name into Polyverse as well. Because then my solo writing stuff under Torkel Tenberg, people can be redirected back to Polyverse to find more of it. And that's something that I learned from that short story competition I entered in when people were finding my personal social media accounts. But yeah, so with the podcasts, I think I should have all of these ones that I want to do. Obviously, and I know you probably already know this, but excluding ones that I'm working on with other people, such as It Lives on Tape with You, that has its own branding and its own thing. But all the little Polyverse ones where it's probably just me and maybe a special guest every now and again, I feel like I should just put them all under Poly Podcast unless they grow into their own big thing, and then later down the line they can be their own, differing thing. I think that only makes sense. So what I am going to start doing on Poly Podcast as we're branching out into the comedy segments, like I said with the last episode with the IKEA products and stuff like that, we're going to do more of those. The personal journaling, as you're all acquainted with if you're OG listeners. And then branching out into the short stories that I've written, the different series, which will be ongoing. And they'll just be scattered in between those differing episodes. Just be like this story of Felicity Strange, part 1. Or Words That Work, part 1. There's so many that I have on the go. So it's a good way to get them out with how scattered my brain is with writing all these stories at once, instead of having to finish all of them and then release them as like a thing. And I don't see these stories being like a novel or something in the future. They're their own like short stories, ongoing things that I just want to throw out into the world. In the future, I'd love to see them be made into like digital comics or something like that. That'd be awesome, of course. But, that can be separate, from the podcast and the audio versions. So yeah, that's the thing as well that I'm going to be releasing under the Poly Podcast in the future, is more short stories. Obviously, I was just thinking, I have done readings. Yeah, I've done readings of short stories. But they're on the YouTube channel, and I didn't put them under the podcast. So yeah, I did separate them initially. But all incorporating, all encompassing. So yeah, Poly Podcast is going to be, it's going to be a factory. It's going to be a factory of content. All things Polyverse, all things creativity, all things myself and my collaborators in the Polyverse universe. So yeah, awesome stuff. I talked so much just then. Oh my Lord. That was like nonstop. I'm not used to this anymore. So yeah, that's the whole thing. But I should actually make a couple notes for the upcoming podcast episode that we still need to do tonight. Yes, indeedy. How long have we been going for? 44 minutes. Nice. We do have a way of ranting and rambling on here, don't we? Yes, I see some people coming in. Welcome in to Polyverse. This is the preamble, the pre-show, exclusive to the live stream until it's uploaded as a VOD on YouTube later. But yeah, feel free to interact and read out your messages. But this is the preamble, the pre-show for the podcast until we get into that, which will be a little sneak peek, a poetry collection that I've just finished writing. So yeah, I'm going to write some little notes, perhaps talk about in regards to that before we get into it. But I hope you're all having a lovely day today, a lovely Saturday. I'm wondering as well, as the new year swiftly approaches, does anyone have any informal, casual, or very strict, very formal resolutions for the new year? I was never a New Year's resolution kind of guy myself, because I thought, oh, hello, human, riot proof, 83. You actually gave me a jump scare. I don't know if my eyes lit up just then. I'm just going to eat you up. But holy heck, that scared the shivers out of me, because I had my headphones on and I hadn't heard anything for a good hour. Oh my God, thank you for following. Welcome to the Polyverse. Oh, that knocked my train of thought. I was genuinely scared. I was like, what the hell is that sound? It wasn't even that loud. My own voice come to haunt me. But yes, welcome in. Polyverse is my creative universe. And I'm a comedy writer. I do fantasy, sci-fi, poems, short stories, working on novels, all sorts of stuff, and podcasting. And a bit of live streaming dabbled here and there. We do a bit of everything. So thanks. Thanks for joining. You're officially a member of the digital media cult now. So yeah, what was I saying? I genuinely forgot. Oh, New Year's resolutions. That's right. Yes, I was never a big fan of New Year resolutions because I was like, why do I have to decide that I should change, my habits on the new year, Thank you, Grumbly Ghost. The New Year resolutions, I was like, why? Why should I restrict it to the new year? I should just do it right now instead of waiting. And I think, that's a good sentiment, but I like the theme of New Year's resolutions just because as the new year comes around, you have time to reflect on this year, what you achieved, what you're proud of, and also what you want to do moving into the next one. So it's just a convenient time to reflect on what you want to do for New Year's. Yeah, exactly. Jinx, ooh, gotcha. Hey, you got me actually. Oh no. So that's what New Year resolutions are really good for, I realized. Jinx, double jinx. Ooh, I said it just as it came on the screen. I did read you a message. I saw it early before it came on the screen. And so I don't think implementing them on New Year is like a super good idea, but reflecting on them and deciding what you want to move into over the course of 2024 is a very good idea. So yeah, any New Year resolutions for y'all out there? Casual or strict ones, doesn't matter. I myself have a few that I'll get into, for sure. But feel free, Grumbly Ghost. I can see you thinking about it just now. I can see you pondering upon your own. I obviously have the New Year resolution of hopefully buying an apartment. That's not a New Year resolution. And I said that to Emma the other day. And Emma said, that's not a New Year resolution. That's just something you... And I was like, yeah. But that's how I see New Year resolutions. Just what do I want to do in 2024 in the next year? So I want to purchase an apartment in the city. Or on the outskirts of Perth City. I'm reincorporating exercise back into my hyper-focus cycle. What does hyper-focus cycle mean? Just like your day-to-day routine? But I like that. It slips away from us when we become busy, doesn't it? Cooking more for friends? That's cool. Yes. From, I saw you posted on Instagram some homemade labneh. And I was like, ooh, I've never tried it before, but I know what it is. So I get this feeling that you're quite a good cook, but maybe that's something you want to do more often. So that's awesome. For myself, I read some more books. I neglected books this year. I did read a few, but that's it, like a few. So I'm going to read some more books. Nothing strict, just like being more mindful of getting into the books that I take inspiration from and love, because I've got so many on my shelf and in my audiobook library. And I was actually listening to one on the cycle on the way here today. What was it called? The Underworld? No, Underland. Underland. Yeah, by Robert McFarlane. It's interesting. I'm like halfway through it. I don't know. I'll give my review of that when I'm done. I'm not recommending it yet. It's interesting so far. I thought it was fictional at first, but it seems to be true. It's about like a guy's very narrative and descriptive. That's why I thought it might be fiction. Detailings of his trips under the earth in various contexts and scenarios. It's quite interesting. Oh, Labner is unfortunately not vegan. Oh, damn. I thought it might be. Next batch will be. That is exciting, though. I like that a lot. I thought, isn't Labner very similar to falafel? I missed your other message before. Hold on. Hyperfocus cycle, meaning when I was exercising a lot, I was very focused on it. Like special interest type stuff. I need to trick myself into enjoying the iterative movement improvement again. I getcha. Yeah. Like climbing is great. I know you're into diving. That's great. Biking, mountain biking. Yeah. That's the best way to exercise. Just find activities that you really enjoy that are exercises. I 100% agree. Just about, doing what you enjoy, and then day-to-day lifestyle changes. It means everything to, for the mind, happiness, being healthy. Oh, it's yogurt that you press into cheese. Oh, okay. I thought it might be more hummusy, but I guess it just kind of looks like hummus. But yeah, it's more yogurty cheesy. That's interesting. A vegan one would be very interesting. Oh my Lord. You're like a mad scientist out there. I like it. I'm very keen to try. With some pita bread. Oh yeah. Some naan. Oof, that's the picture I'm looking at right now. Excellent stuff. For myself, this year actually, let me just think on this. I can't remember what all my resolutions were for this year and if I achieved them. I believe that, I don't know if it's possible, but I'm in my mad scientist phase. Hell yes, that's the most fun in cooking, when you get into the mad scientist groove and just experimenting, Like I said, I've been feeling lightheaded after eating that kale meal today. FODMAP, guys. That's another New Year's resolution. I need to eat more selectively. Like, I've always had digestive sensitivities since I was a kid. And as I'm getting older, they're becoming probably more frustrating or more annoying. I don't know if they're becoming worse necessarily, but maybe my tolerance for them is lower because I'm getting old and weak. I don't know. But I need to eat more selectively things that are, I guess, easier for me to digest. I don't know. It's just like sensitivities. That's a bit of a resolution. Another one, so one that I had for 2023 was to improve the back pain that I had. And I say had because I did improve it. It's only come back like once or twice over the course of this year, which is incredible. And it didn't get as bad at all as it got to the point where my back would seize and spasm. It didn't get to that point at all in 2023, to my recollection. So that's awesome. So I've been doing a lot of hip mobility exercises, a lot of yoga, a lot of targeted strength training for my upper legs, and hip stuff, and band work with the band behind me, stretching. So I'm going to continue that into 2024, become stronger in my legs, so then those problems cease even more, because there's still, obviously, it's a long process. It's a lifelong hip stiffness that I've had. So it's going to take a few years to really fix it. But I've seen marketed improvements, really big improvements over the course of this year already. It's been amazing. Like, I can properly get down into the squatting position and stuff like that. It's crazy. I never used to be able to do things like that. Really upright person when it came to exercise. So I'm definitely getting more flexibility and strength in that sense. So that's awesome. And like I said, as you get older, you don't want those kinds of aches and pains and nagging injuries that linger. So I'm going to continue that. That's one of mine. But it's similar to yours, Grumbly Ghost, in the sense of exercise and lifestyle changes. But yeah, I'm just moving forward with that one. What's another one? I want to swim more as well, on the topic of that. I did swim periodically throughout 2023, but I want to swim regularly, so maybe I have to go to like some pools more, some lane swimming. Yeah, swimming. Yes, I love swimming. It's so much fun. It's really good. I put my goggles on, get under the water, hold my breath, go really far, go fast. Yeah, swimming's awesome. The only thing that could make swimming even better for me would be if I got some like waterproof headphones. Because I'd love to listen to an audiobook or something while I'm swimming. But it's not essential. But I may look into that if I do it regularly. But that's awesome that you and Jade are going to do that. It's like the best exercise ever, I think. As a guy who's done almost every exercise you can think of, I think swimming's like the most. It can be light. It can be intense. It's like the most all-encompassing. It's good for every part of your body. It's like really difficult to get injured doing it. It strengthens everything. It's awesome. It's the best. Yeah, you can get the ones that play sound through your head bones. Yes, that's what I've seen. They're like induction or inductor or bone conductor or whatever the heck it's called. Directly into your skull. Yeah, I don't even know how that works, but they seem to be the ones that are waterproof, right? I've only done tertiary looking into it because I wanted to know if it was a thing, and I was like, okay, it is a thing, and then I didn't look further into it yet because I don't need them yet, but I certainly want to get some for the future. Because I was heavily into running over the past 2 years, and I've had some leg lingering injuries because I've been overdoing it with running, and because my hip mobility has improved. So now the problem is moving elsewhere as well. And because I'm still not, fully, balanced in my strength. So there's still going to be problems. So I can't run too much. I've decided I can't. I have to move on to swimming and things like that instead. Cycling. Yeah. Oh yeah. Cycling. Been definitely getting into that. Barely cycled at all for like 10 years. It's good fun. And you can wear headphones with that quite easily. I've got some little Bluetooth ones right here. Easy peasy. Most require you to load up what you want to listen to as MP3s. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. Old school. Like an iPod. So it might be difficult for audiobooks. But it was like 3 years ago when last checked. Oh, they might have Bluetooth now. We should mountain bike. Oh, I've tried mountain biking like once or twice when I was a kid. And hey, I'd be keen to give it a go. I don't have a mountain bike. Obviously, you can see this one's a road bike. But yeah, I'd be keen to give it a go. I'm a fiend on the marketplace for secondhand stuff, so I know there's a lot of mountain bikes on there that I could get for 100, 200 buckaroonies. No worries. What else on the topic of New Year's resolutions? I know there were some others I had. Can't think of them right now. I'm just chilling, really. I'm just chilling in life. Poly Podcast is back. Oh, okay. So obviously my two big creative projects. So creative-wise, let's think about that. New Year's resolutions. Moving into 2024, we'll say. Obviously, I've tried to set schedules for completing the novel, the horror fiction novel, for completing this new book of poetry that I started in 2023. Though, it's older poetry and stuff. I've just been collecting it into a format. I try to set schedules for these, but, life stuff happens. You get sidetracked. So those are ongoing. I doubt that I'll finish either of them in 2024, to be honest. I'm being more realistic with myself. I doubt I'll finish either of them. I need time to hyper focus and really devote energy to big projects like that. I find it a lot easier when I'm busy with life stuff, like I said, moving around and everything like that. I find it a lot easier just to do the little things, like the poetry, the short stories, here and there, just ticking along, to really sit down and focus on where I'm at with the book. Yeah, it's like a week just to catch up, and then I can start writing. It's pretty tricky. So I don't expect either of those projects to be finished in 2024, although I know I will work on them a little bit throughout the year, undoubtedly. But creative goals for 2024, let's see. The website is the big one. I've also neglected that because of not streaming as much, which is also because of moving around so much with my setup, computer setup and things like that. And yeah, being unfocused from it. Like I said, the online branding stuff is difficult. And websites, I really want it to be like the landing page for all things Polyverse. So yeah, the website though is pretty close to being finished. Honestly, we've worked on it a few times on stream. So 2024, I can definitely finish that up. And that'll be so good because I've got so many video ideas, project ideas to promote that. Because they'll have all the stories on there. A lot of poetry, a lot of stuff. It'll be awesome. That's something I was listening to on a podcast as well. From someone who's involved in involved with social media, selling advertisements and stuff like that. He was a bit of a social media guy, and he was saying how he thinks it's important for digital creators to have their own thing that's separate to their social media outlets, and how it's kind of good to see those social media outlets often as what's the word for it? Almost like advertisements or ways to market yourself to draw people into the other thing, which is like your website or your, I don't know, mailing list, your Patreon, the Discord. Even though those are also their own entities, it's more customizable, more controllable for your content and things like that you want to put out there. More personal as well. So I think there's like, I don't think that is everything. I don't think it means as much as this guy says it does. I think obviously if you get big on a certain social media, if you have success with it, then it's awesome to keep milking that, of course, to keep going on that journey. And but yeah, I like the idea of a landing page, and I think the website is going to be that for Polyverse. And then I do want to put more effort into the Discord because we've got a cool little community on Discord as well, on the Polyverse community there. I want to probably put more, I want to put like regularly put my stories and poetry on there, just like different content and stuff, just to keep it going so it's its own thing. Yes, Grumbly Ghost. So I missed your other message before. I'm like zoning in and out a little bit as I'm rambling so much. It's kind of hot in here. I'm actually turning on the aircon. Hey, I know you're a fan of the Discord. Thank you, by the way, man. You're a very wholesome guy in there. We love it. What was your old message? Let's see. Yeah, you can hire out there. Oh, in reference to the mountain bikes. Worth giving it a shot on their bikes. Oh, I didn't know that. So there's specific tracks and stuff that you can go to. Ah, that's cool. I thought it was pretty much like fend for yourself. Well, that's awesome. That's good to know. I might give hiring a go before I commit to buying one then. Messing around with the air conditioner right now. There we go. You may be able to hear it a little bit, but I'm just going to do it enough so it cools down the room. I'm hot and sweaty. Up in the hills. I love being up in the hills. That is my fave place. I love hiking out there. I know we talked about this before, how we like both got these fantasies of living a bit out of the way. And I've been trying to convince Emma subtly. I'm like, wouldn't it be so great to just be out here? Like when we go out on a hike, I'm like, we could live so close to all these lovely sights and bits of nature. And Emma's not taking the bait. But I love it out there. Yeah, until a big fire happens. That is certainly a fear of mine, especially when there was a lot of big fires happening in WA. Like in 2021, I think there was heaps. Oof. Yeah, that is scary. No. But yeah, the Polyverse Discord, my good sir. So what I want to do is put a lot of stuff on there because I write so much stuff and I create all these things and I would just want to put things that I can share on there, so that people don't have to, if people are trying to get away from the social medias and stuff like that, they can catch it all on the Discord. They don't have to follow each and every one of the things, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Threads, the TikTok, the freaking, I don't know, whatever else there is. I mean, that's honestly the ideal thing. If you're like, I feel like if you're big enough of a creator, what I would do if I was, successful at the digital media space, I would honestly just take everything sort of out of the public eye and just be on Discord and like Patreon to make money or something, and it'd just all be community focused. And then I'd put like, a video or a post up on the social medias every once in a blue moon just to tell people, hey, this is what I'm up to and this is where you can find it on the Discord. Discord's awesome. trees are great, but Australian trees actually want to be on fire. Yeah. They get so dry in summer. And they're like designed to be burnt and then to come back to life with the regrowth and whatnot. It's scary. I remember there was a fire, I think it was 2021, when it was such a hot summer in Perth. And there was a accidental fire started, I think it was in the hills. And a guy was just like towing his boat or something on a trailer, dinghy or something like that. And it came unhitched. And I think the steel like scraped across the road a little bit from the trailer, and it created some sparks that created a fire. It's like, what the hell? Is it that easy to make a fire? Like how much sparks would it really make if your trailer just scratches along the tarmac a little bit? That's crazy. So yeah, it's very easy to burn stuff in Australia. It's scary, especially in WA, I should say. I'm getting updates from my friend like Rhett, and he lives in Sydney, and it's like hailing over there right now. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like 30 degrees here. We're chilling. Oh, thank you, Grumbly Ghost. I recommend the Discord to people as a great artistic community. I appreciate that a lot. And obviously I welcome everyone into the Discord. All creative folks. Yeah. I want to keep it as that, as a real creative hangout place. And I think I can help spur that on, obviously, by posting more of my own stuff on there. Like I said, I really have to wrap my brain around how to use social media stuff and digital stuff and how to put stuff out there. And yeah, I've been away from the computers a lot. Well, I've been using computers, of course, for work and my laptop and stuff, but I've been away from the desktop and I've been away from just hanging out in the voice channels and stuff like that because I've been busy. So when I'm not able to do that, it'd be good to just be able to post and stuff like that and, keep updated with everyone more often. But the community ticks along over there on its own, which is awesome. And that's, a testament to people like you, Grumbly Ghost, who are out here kicking it. And that's sick to see. I remember when I first made the Discord years ago, and a couple of my uni friends were hanging out in there and chatting while I was asleep. And I was like, oh my God, people are using it while I'm not even there? That's the greatest thing ever. I love that. So I just love seeing it. I just love people doing stuff and they're being active. It's awesome. I don't know. That sense of community. It's awesome. And it's wholesome, That's the thing as well. I love a wholesome space, a wholesome, safe space to come to and to chill. And as it's Polyverse and as I am the cult leader of Polyverse, I can make it as I wish. So I like that. Some communities are hellscapes, you got to say, Some communities are true hellscapes online. Yeah, in my image, make it all in my image. Not unlike a certain biblical figure. Oh my God, I just got a picture of some vegan fish and chips from Emma. Damn. I love me some fish and chips. That's salt and vinegar. The tartar sauce. Is it tartare or is it tartar sauce? Who knows? I don't. My back is sweating. Non-animal potatoes. Yes. Yeah, they can do some crazy stuff with it, like banana blossom they make into battered fish. I don't know how the heck they get the taste so similar, and the texture is like crazy similar if it's cooked well. It's crazy. There's obviously many different ways to do it. You can make anything out of soy protein. It's like you can just chuck that shit in a lab and get some mad scientist, like 3D modeling engineer, to figure it out and just like print that soy out. You can do anything. But yeah, I could go for some fish and chippies. Okay. So those are the... Did I eventually say the New Year resolution? Of creative stuff? Yeah, pretty much did. I've seen some very... I've been thinking of growing lion's mane mushrooms to make... steaks. Mushrooms are so delicious when you can fry them up, marinate them, salt and pepper them up. Ooh. Yes, I've had some mushroom burgers that have been delicious. Been seeing some very convincing steaks made with mushrooms. Ooh, I haven't tried any of that yet, but I can imagine. Mushrooms are one of my favorite veggies out there. Or fungi. It's so good. Can do anything with it. It's versatile. Ooh, that was a potential main you're thinking about for the Void dinner. Oh, I'd be very keen for that. Yes, indeed. Also, I was thinking about what to bring. We'll see what me and Emma are up to around that time. But I'm thinking I could bring like little bite-sized brownies, chocolatey brownies, or carrot cake dessert, little bite-sized. I was thinking desserts could be good. But then otherwise, there's so many delicious like entrees and things like that I could bring as well. It'll be awesome. Oh, you found another main that you've landed on. Ooh, is it a secret for now? That's okay. That's okay. Something Void-like. I'm trying to think of something to wear to this Void-themed dinner as well that you're hosting. Snacks are welcomed. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll think of something yummy and snacky. That's what I was thinking, like maybe a little dessert snacky. Snacky dessert could be good. Vegan and gluten-free squid ink pasta. Oh my lord. Oh, Void. Yes. I get it. It'll be very inky and black. Oh, delicious. I like that. I like that. Whew. Yum. Yes. Okay, exciting stuff. Yeah, I need to think of Void stuff, like Void clothes. Or like an outfit, you know? I'll brainstorm with Emma. And we'll brainstorm on some snacks to bring as well. It's going to be a good time. A good time. Yeah, me neither. I can't wait. Oh, yes. That'll be my socializing for 2024. The first quarter. I see it as quarterly, you know. I can get out one event per quarter. and then I feel like I've achieved my socialization in the real world for 2024. Quarter one done. Yes, I've ticked it off. I've already got it scheduled in 2023. That's awesome. Yeah, I got to take a few notes. What am I going to talk about? I got to talk about this new project, dude. Are you excited? It's a big announcement that I'm going to make here. I'm excited about it because I've been working on this for years. It's not finished yet, but the writing is done. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, I know what to write. Yeah, that's why I hopped on. I was worried I missed the announcement when I was AFK. No, don't you worry. I'm prolonging it because this, like, I just cycle back home, before it gets dark, kind of thing. So I'm staying live until like 7-ish, because the sun sets so late now. It sets at like 7:30. So we're good. We got another hour to fill, but we will get into the podcast soon. I won't keep you on the edge of your seat for too long. Ooh. Okay, so I got that point, a couple of dot points to cover. Good, because it's precarious. Ooh. I forgot what that's in reference to. Precarious? I'm not even certain what that means. I use that word. That means like cautious, right? Edge of seat. Okay. I thought so. I always look up the meaning of words when I'm writing. I'm like using a word and then I'm like, I should double check what the meaning of that is. Make sure I'm not using it in the wrong way. Oh, not securely held in position. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's on the lines of what I thought it meant, but I thought it was more general or vague than that. But that was just my understanding of it was general and vague. But yes, hanging on by a thread on your seat, I suspect. Okay. I've got to talk about the influences for the project. Turns out I'm not quite using it right. That's the theme of the Poly podcast is, and also if it lives on tape, is us using the wrong words and then figuring out the right words and things like that. Okay. Those are the only 2 points that I'm going to cover. I'm going to do a reading as well of part of it, I think. A reading of this project. So that's exciting. Okay, I know. Okay, I've almost got all my dot points, and then we can start. I like having dot points. Dot points are good. They're helpful. Dot points in life. If only we could have, little flashcards. I've got little post-its here. If only we could have little flashcards for everything in life. It'd be so much easier. Being introvert, navigating the world. Overall theme. Okay. Yep, I've got all my dot points ready. I'm done. Yes, that is right. We are opening every episode with the welcome to the inaugural episode. Yes. I love that. And the welcome to the show. Oh, Lord. I got to decide which one to do a reading of. Okay, yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, I'm going to read this one. It's a shorter one. Oh, actually, will I read this one? Guys, I'm so excited to announce this. I feel so good when I, finish a stage of a project. I keep wanting to say that I finished this project, but I can't just release it as is. Though maybe I will release it in the Discord exclusively to the Discord as is. And then the actual final project. And of course the website too, yes. Yes, the website too. I will release it on. But then the final stage of the project, which I will talk about, is not just written. It's multi. It's not multi-encompassing. It's just not just written. Oh yes, welcome to the Polyverse Digital Media Court. I hope you have a good time. Yes, where all the creative things take place under one banner. Nightbot, now would be a good time to link it. No, Nightbot's busy. Nightbot already linked it earlier. The Polyverse Discord. Oh my god. Damn! I'm in tune with the universe. Clip that. I'm enlightened on the spiritual plane. And that's why I am the Polyverse Digital Media Cult leader. Okay? I'm benevolent. I'm a benevolent dictator and collaborator. You know, we're on our way to making it into a co-op. We just got to establish it first, okay? So it's a benevolent dictatorship until then. Oh my lord, that was funny. Oh my lord. I'm actually going to go back and clip that later. 126. 126? 126? Gee whiz. Gee, Wizard of Oz. What the heck was that, eh? Oh, fitness live streams and vegan humor. Thank you, no, but I was actually thinking about doing some fitness live streams the other day and then I couldn't be bothered. Oh yes, I was checking other stories, see if I want to read another one. There is magic in the world again. Yes, I'm in tune. I am plugged into the digital matrix. My brain is a binary code and I'm seeing all the zeros and ones. I am in tune with all things online. We are one. If you are plugged into a computer right now, if you are listening on your phone, I am in your head. You understand that, right? I am in your brain. It's the hive mind of the polyverse. It's everything. Oh my god, I don't know which one to read on the stream. It's gooey and kind of uncomfortable, but I'm there. That's the perfect description of the polyverse experience. Okay, I'm not reading that one. Nightbot's working overtime today. Thank you, Nightbot. Okay, not reading that one. Okay, I've narrowed it down to 2 thus far. I want to choose the right one to get interest in this project, you know. Okay, not that one either, no. Okay, this one? No, not that one. Because I'm thinking about spoken word. This is a poetry project, guys. You can probably tell by the title. This is a poetry project that I'm about to announce. So I'm going through the poems, deciding which one I'm going to read. No, not that one. Okay, one more to check. I've narrowed it down to 2. Polyverse.com. Thank you, Nightbot. Yeah, I'm going to decide this. Then I'm going to go to the toilet. So a quick break because I've been drinking lots of water. And then we'll get into the Poly Podcast episode. Okay? The official episode. Official. I think it's 19. We're about to hit 20 episodes. That's pretty cool. So if you need to step away before we get into the live episode, you have time. You've got 5-10 minutes. And then we're getting it started. Everyone, warning. With peace and love. 5 to 10 minutes before the show starts. Before the project is announced. Okay, yeah, not that one. Okay, yeah, narrowed it down to 2. Okay, yeah, I know which one. I'm going to read this one. Yep, that's the best one. This is the best one for this topic. Okay, bit of behind the scenes for you guys there. Ooh, thank you, Nightbot. Check out Squawk75, fellow Polyverse collaborator, and his lovely music on Spotify. I'll be back in a second. So, peace and love. This is your 5-minute warning. The show is about to get underway. Peace and love. All right. I'll be back. That was lovely. Oh, that was lovely. Oh, let me fix my hair. I'm looking a little too flat, not enough volume. There we go. We're all on our best behavior, I suspect. Hope you all had a nice, refreshing 5-minute break there. We are about to get into Poly Podcast. The reason why we're all here. The announcement. It's all happening. This is episode 19, everyone. So as always, I'm going to, I'm going to mute the, the alerts. Yeah, I'm going to mute the alerts. And but the Twitch chat will still be on screen. I'll still be interacting with the Twitch chat for anyone who wants to, chat, have any questions or anything, or just, random words of encouragement. That'd be much appreciated. So, yeah. That's about it. We're going to get into it as soon as I decide that we're going to get into it. Poly Podcast. This is going to be obviously recorded. This is going out to the Spotifys and the YouTubes. All your usual suspects. Announcing the new project. Oh, stuff is happening today. Oh, let me just see messages that I missed. Oh, that's funny. We were speaking of 3D printing meats and whatnot earlier. Then Emma sends me some 3D printed meat thing. What is this? Let me see what this is first. Wait for everyone to come back in. A factory in Holland 3D prints 500 tons of steaks a month. Jesus. That's a lot of meat. Approximately 110 German restaurants already buying meat from Redefined Meat. Cool. Damn. 500 tons a month, apparently. That's a Tuesday. Yeah. That's just another Tuesday. Just messaging Emma back real quick. For everyone on the live stream, thank you for your patience. Love me some meat. I love that 3D printed meat. Mm-hmm. Clip it, boys. We got him. Hey, I know my way around some meats. Tasty meats. 500 tons of meat. Now that's a lot of meat. Okay? Oh my God. Sorry, I have to share this with the stream. I don't think Emma minds, but Emma had was at a, what are they called? A animal sanctuary. This is real voice talk with Tex and Torkel. Howdy, y'all. I'm Tex and Torkel. I like that. That's a new character. Emma was at an animal sanctuary, my partner Emma, a few days ago, and they were repairing some like shade for the pigs, and they were drilling into some metal or something. I think the glasses came off this, I don't know, the safety glasses or whatever, and some metal got in their eye. like a speck of metal. And apparently that's quite a common thing if you're, I guess a mechanic type of person who does a lot of that sort of stuff. I haven't heard of it before, but I was Googling it and it seems to be a common thing. And Emma, of course, being Emma, was very stubborn and left it in for like 2 days before seeking help. Yeah, it's crazy, eh? And it got worse day by day. And I was like, you have to go to the emergency room. And I was like, I was like, no, seriously, you have to go. But Emma eventually did. And they had to get like a hollow needle thing to sort of gently dig it out. I think they left him for 2 days, yeah. I think it was 2 days. It was like the first day, it was like, oh, it's just something in my eye. It's like understandable. And then the second day, it's like, oh no, it's in my eye and it's not coming out. And then on the third day, something was done about it. And so they dug it out with the little hollow needle. And the vision was blurry by that day when they got it taken out. And then the pain became worse after they took it out, obviously, because it had been left in there to linger, Like the metal was sitting in there. And I'm imagining like a Iron Man scenario. What's his name? Tony Stark, where like he's got the metal fragments in his chest and they're moving day by day. That's what I'm imagining. The metal's moving in your eye. I don't know if that's true or not. But that's what I'm imagining. It's getting deeper, getting deeper. It was unpacking boxes, setting up a life. Yeah, it was moving in. It was there to stay. They're going to need the Iron Man, what's it called? The little thing that he invents. It's like a freaking nuclear reactor that you put in your heart to keep all the metal at bay. But yeah, Emma even tried getting like a magnet to like magnet it out because apparently that can work. But I think it was too deep in for that to work. So anyway, the pain got extreme after they took it out. And Emma had some antibiotic drops and stuff. And they were on the phone to me when they put them in. And they're like, oh my God, this fucking hurts. And we're like, got to watch something together over a call. And I was like, are you sure you want to watch something? You should just close your eyes and like pretend you're asleep until you do fall asleep and sleep the pain away. And they did do that eventually. I think that was the wisest move. But they're just messaging me now saying it was the worst pain they've ever felt. It was unbearable, like, on the level of feeling like you need to spew because of the pain, like nauseous, hot and cold sweats and everything. Oh my God. But they're doing way better today. So the sleep did help. All things are made better with sleep. Oh yeah. All round shit experience indeed. I never want that to happen. Now I know if I'm ever drilling something, I need to put on some safety glasses. I think that's a wise move. So yeah, I'm just going to send a few messages before we get into the Poly Podcast episode. So just hang with me, everyone. We're chilling. You got a little bit of extra time. Yeah, the dot looks pretty cool. Yeah, it's crazy how just a small dot in your eye can cause so much pain. Oh. I just told Emma I just shared the story because I'm live streaming. Hey, they got some safety goggles. Yeah. They literally bought some safety goggles, like hardcore ones that wrap around and everything. Smart, wise move. They will come in handy. They will come in very handy. Oh my goodness. Yes, safety goggles. This is a message to everyone out there. You know, we're trying to do. Okay, I'm just going to turn on the aircon again because I'm starting to sweat already. A message to everyone. I'm very anti a lot of things, you know, like, you know, this is a random rant that I'm just going to go on for a second, just a second to detract. But, you know, I'm obviously anti-racism and anti-misogyny and anti all the horrible things in the world. And that's very important, of course. But I think we need to be uplifting as well and have a positive message on things. So this is today's positive message based on all this negative stuff that we just said about having metal in your eye. Safety goggles, everyone. Borrow your mate's safety goggles. Get your own safety goggles if you're doing, you know, work, woodwork, metal work, stuff like that. It's very important, okay? Pro safety, get your own. Get your own. I am not sharing. I need mine. So that's our positive message for today. The wonders of goggles on our eyes and just goggles in general. Think about it. How weak we are as humans to have our little silly eyes exposed, right? I wear goggles when I swim so I can see underwater because it hurts my eyes if I don't, right? Get salt in them, get chlorine in them, all sorts of stuff. Never leave the house without my goggles. Yes, sunglasses as well. They're kind of like goggles. We need those to protect us from the sun. We can't just look at the sun. We'll go blind if we look at the sun. So just think about that wondrous creation by humankind. And that's the positive message for today. Eyewear and safety goggles. How brilliant are we as a species to invent those things? So I'm just going to send a few more messages and then we'll get into the episode. Oh yeah, exactly. I didn't even think about that. You need glasses to protect yourself from the eldritch blur. Yes, exactly. And like, imagine that. We get blurry vision, we get long-sighted, we get short-sighted, we get stigmatisms, we get all these different things. And imagine if we're out in the wild still, just like living our life. We'd be so limited by that. But now, because we're modern day humans, we've got spectacles and glasses and stylish ones at that can help us. It's amazing. And even contact lenses too. That I personally just like eyeglasses. I think they're super cool. But I know for sports and stuff, contact lenses can be really handy. So what an invention. What inventive people we have amongst us, eh? The blur dimension. My eyes are shaped in a way that allows me to see the blur dimension. Hey, it's just like that X-Men character. The guy who has the goggles and he shoots lasers out his eyes. I know so much lore about him, right? He is actually his Cyclops. Is it Cyclops? Yeah, it is Cyclops. Yeah. You're right. He doesn't just shoot lasers out of his eyes. His eyes are actually portals into a dimension of pure energy. I'm not making this up. I'm really into comics and stuff. His eyes are portals into a dimension of pure energy. Let me restate that. So those goggles stop that dimension from energy from spilling through his eyes. He just switches it on and off and the energy comes straight out and it's limitless. It's limitless energy because it's a dimension of pure energy. You heard that right. And I think that's the coolest, like, law for a superpower that's so simple. You know, it's just laser eyes. But that's super cool, I reckon. So there you go. Comedy facts with Torkel. All energy all the time. Yeah. Imagine that. His eyes. Oh. If you were small enough and you could withstand that energy, could you, Ant-Man, for example, Ant-Man wearing, let's think about this. Okay. Think about this. If they got the Incredible Hulk, who only gets stronger the more, I don't know what kind of energy this dimension is. I don't know if it's radiation energy, because the Hulk operates upon radiation energy. But basically, the Hulk, I don't think he would be overwhelmed by it. He's pretty much indestructible, okay? And he rises to the challenge. That's his whole thing. He becomes stronger. The stronger his opponent is, the angrier he becomes. So if we gave the Pym potion, whatever the heck it's called, the Ant-Man serum, Pym particles, that's what it's called, to the Hulk, shrank him down into ant size, put him through the eye of Cyclops. They're in the same universe, by the way. They're all Marvel. Okay? Good energy or bad energy? This is bad vibes, what I'm explaining right now. I'll tell you that much. If we shrunk down the Hulk into the Ant-Man size through the Pym particles, he could travel through Cyclops' eye, I think, into that dimension of pure energy. Because they're portals. I don't know if they're portals or they're gateways. I don't know if there's a difference. But technically speaking, I think this is a theory that I could write on like a comic book forum. I might do that later. Yeah, and the Hulk could just be there. And that could be his dimension. He'd probably absorb it all. You know, if we wrote this into a comic book type story, he would absorb it all and he'd just become like Hulk Infinite. And he'd just turn red and be enormous, like the size of a galaxy. He'd be the new Galactus. Galactus is a character in Marvel Comics who flies around the universe eating planets. That'd be the new Galactus. I love it. We got to do some comic book theory live streams or podcasts or something. I like this. I could get into this. Okay. Are you all ready? Yeah, we need to do some comic book theory streams. I think that'll be so much fun. I like thinking about what are the limits of like certain heroes and stuff like that and putting them into the weird scenarios like that. Na 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 na. Okay, everyone. We've done it all. We've said more than I ever expected we'd say. We are 2 hours in. God, this live streaming thing, eh? This is the awesome thing about live streaming. I feel like I could do this, you know? Like full-time, part-time. If I created a schedule and a setup, you know, which I'm hoping to do in the future, we're just churning out the hours and we're creating content, creating memories, creating memes, creating dreams. And it's hanging out with the community. Grumbly Ghost loves it, and we love you, Grumbly. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. This is going to be exciting. I am... hearts out. Let's get into this. I tinkered with the audio already. It's as good as it will be. I took your advice. I've sort of got it on a bit of an angle, so I'm not directly speaking into it kind of thing. It kind of works a bit better. Kind of does. Okay. let's kick it off. As I said earlier, the alerts are turning off, but feel free to Twitch chat and everything. Write your messages. I'll still be interacting. This is going to be the Poly Podcast episode starting now. So we're going to get into our YouTube mode, okay? It's not starting now, starting in a second. We're going to get into our YouTube mode because this is going to be on the Spotifys and the YouTubes. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Poly Podcast episode 19. My name is Torkel. I am the writer, the creator, digital media, cult leader of the Polyverse. Here at your service yet again, and I've got a very big special announcement. Yes, I do. You can see I've moved setup again, by the way. You know, we're making it work. We're slowly moving things around, tinkering, perfecting the process. But here we are with another podcast episode. And I've got a very special project in the works that we're going to be talking about. And also, as always, this is live streamed. Well, not as always, but as always, as of late, this is live streamed on Twitch as twitch.tv/polyverse. If you want to interact in the live stream. Also, there is a Discord channel, which I will say as well, because we've been talking about that on the live stream. If you want to catch the pre-show and the after show, you can catch that on the Twitch live streams. That's what that's good for, and interacting as well. And as I said, we do have a Discord as well, which is where our community hangs out. So that'll be in the description. We can join the Discord if you're a Discord user. But today we have a big project to announce, okay? I've been a busy boy. That's been an ongoing theme of these podcast episodes. I've been saying I'm a busy boy. I've been saying this on the stream a lot, okay? Just regular life stuff, just generally being a creative, scatterbrained kind of person, all of that sort of stuff. But this is something that I have managed to finish writing. So the writing part is done. The project doesn't end there, though. Let's talk about it. It is called Frozen Machinist. I repeat that. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I sometimes say machinist. I think it's machinist. Frozen Machinist. This is a collection of lyrical poetry. Grumbly Ghost in the live chat says, ooh, thank you, Grumbly Ghost. I see you're on the edge of your seat. Let's not leave you there for too long. This is a lyrical poetry collection. It's heavily inspired by a lot of the music that I listen to lyrically. I originally started writing it maybe 3 years ago or something. It was basically, I was writing the lyrics for an album, essentially, is what it was. Because I got into poetry, I got into writing in general through writing lyrics. And I think lyrics and poetry are so super intertwined. Music in general influences pretty much every creative artist, I think. Like almost everyone you speak to who's creative, whether they're a painter, a filmmaker, a writer, they all have like favorite musicians and stuff that gets them inspired for the most part. So I wrote these as lyrics originally. They're heavily inspired by a lot of the music that I listen to, a lot of the lyrical content, especially that of Meshuggah. Okay, as you can see tattooed on my arm. You can kind of see it. It's going to be hard to get it in the camera. Hold on, I might stand up and try. Yeah, there you go. For anyone watching the video, you could see I just put my arm in the webcam. But this is one of Meshuggah's albums, Chaosphere. I was about to say the wrong name. Chaosphere. See, it's a brain in like a cage with like sort of a torture type thing in it. Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. So it's one of my favorite albums of all time. Meshuggah's my favorite band of all time. So this project, the lyrical content of it, the writing, the words of it, are heavily inspired by the themes. And not just that, but the wording, the iteration, the pacing that Meshuggah uses in their songs. So I'd heavily recommend you check out their stuff. In particular, I would say the albums Chaosphere, of course, and Oh, you never asked me about any of my tattoos. I was thinking about doing this actually as a full episode, talking about each of the tattoos. So I'll tell you in person. And also, that's a future thing, Grumbly Ghost. And so Meshuggah albums that heavily inspired this in particular, Chaosphere, of course, and a more recent one I would say is Colossus or Coloss. So those two. Yes, I would definitely say those two in particular. A bit of Obzen, of course. Obzen is the big Meshuggah album. It's the popular one. It's kind of everything. It inspires everything among their other works. It's a thing. It's awesome. So I thought the theme for this collection of lyrical poetry that I wrote, I had this, okay, so this is crazy, all right? You guys, you know that old TV show? It was like a cartoon. It was called like Metalocalypse or something like that. And it sort of shows this story of this Metallica or like Slipknot kind of band that's larger than life. You know, they're massive. They're like everything. Everyone loves them. Kind of cultish, you know? And they like run the world in their own way. I kind of had this fantasy of that for Meshuggah because I really like Meshuggah so much and they've been growing in popularity. So I thought, and they're getting old now. They're like in their 50s and 60s. So I thought, what if they don't have to stop making music? What if they just slowly change out their band members for people who share, you know, the skills and the beliefs and the, I don't know, the aesthetics and stuff like that of their music, and they continue it on forever. So I played off of that fantasy with this Frozen Machinist. And their music style is it's often described as heavy machinery at work in like polyrhythms. All right. It's heavy metal, okay? It's math metal. They unintentionally invented the genre djent, which is called djent because the guitars make the sound that kind of sounds like that word, djent. So that's what it is, okay? So the Frozen Machinist, that's a bit of background of that side of that. And the Frozen part, I liked the aesthetic of tundra, of the Arctic, things like that. So I thought this is a thematic kind of album in my mind. And that's the content of the lyrics as well. So yeah, that's the stuff, the overall theme, the stuff behind the words and everything. Like I said, I've been working on this for years. I've been slowly just tinkering away at it every now and again. It's not a particularly big project. I could have finished it in like a month if I wanted to. But of course, I did other things in the meantime. But in between my busyness, I just realized I had some free time finally. And I sat down on the couch on my laptop and I finished it. So that was awesome. So another big theme that I'd say in a lot of the music I listen to, and especially in Meshuggah as well, is, and like these traits that I've carry in myself as well, that I believe in my own, probably partly due to the, you know, nature of listening to this kind of music and growing up with it. But it's a lot of like calling out the corruption of corporations. It's a lot of something in particular that Meshuggah does, right, is they create these themes of monsters and this, you know, endless factories, like this machinery at work, and these like horrible narratives, you know, of this dystopian kind of future, and like I said, monsters and things of that nature. They make that out. They encompass that. But the lyrical content is it's hard to describe. It is being that thing while condemning it, if you know what I mean. If you want to hear about this in more detail, I talked about this a lot in an old Poly podcast episode, I think episode like 15. It was called The Poetry of Meshuggah, Immutable, where I read all the lyrics from their newest album, Immutable, and what it means exactly. And that one's a great example because the whole album, and this was divisive among Meshuggah listeners because they're quite a popular band now. The whole album was about the rise of like radical groups in Europe, radical political groups and things like that. So we're talking about racism, neo-Nazis, anti-Semitism, all of that horrible stuff. So they were encompassing those themes within their lyrics and condemning it, like showing that it's hateful and stuff, and like, saying that within the lyrics. So that is what I tried to gather that energy in this project as well. Like I said, this is heavily inspired by Meshuggah's stuff. And so a lot of the lyrical themes around this is stuff like that I condemn, that I believe in. It's a lot about climate change because it's obviously in the Arctic, the melting of ice caps, the rising of sea levels, monsters being unlocked from the earth and things like that. And what else was I going to say on that point? That's pretty much it, to be honest. Why the project doesn't end at this. So I've written it all. But what I want to do, right? Obviously, I can't make music in the way that Meshuggah does, but I've been looking for an excuse to get back into music making for a while. And something that I've really been wanting to try is something extremely vocal heavy. I've probably talked about this on an old Poly Podcast episode, but I want to create another member of the Polyverse community on the Polyverse Discord, Kyrie, who I met in England. He makes a lot of music that's just his voice, distorted, contorted, changed sounds, and he makes it into a landscape of noise. And I really like that. I want to try my hand at some of that while also screaming at the top of my lungs these lyrics, you know what I mean? In some semblance of madness that goes along with it thematically, and some aesthetic to it. So that's the other side of the project. That's going to take a while, okay? But as I said, I'm actually going to release this whole thing on the Polyverse website eventually, it's polyverse.com. I'll also release it. I'll release it first, though, on the Discord. So if you want to read all of these poems, go to the Polyverse Discord, like I said, link in the description. All right? Join the Discord. Hang out with us. It's a place for creatives to come and share your projects, work on things together, to have a chat and hang out. It's a good time. So I'll be putting it there, first and foremost. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to do a reading now, though. Hey, thank you, Grumbly Ghost. Grumbly Ghost can attest that the Discord is a lovely place. And I am going to do a reading of one of these. I may do a reading... I don't know. I may do a reading of all of them at some point, separate. Maybe not. No, I may milk this. I'm good at milking content, as Grumbly Ghost knows. I may make this into several things, but the final stage of it will be, like I said, the musical component. But I may also do audio recordings of all these poems in the future. But I'm going to give you a little taster today. Okay? I'm going to give you a little taster. I'm going to read one of them. But that's basically the whole background of what this project is. The Frozen Machinist. Or just Frozen Machinist, to be clear. And yes. Oh, I'm very happy to have finished writing it. It feels so good to just finish writing something, I'm in the midst of so many big projects. It feels good to just get something out. As I said, I felt this intense relief every time I finish a short story as well. Poems, I feel a small satisfaction out of finishing one, but a collection of them, definitely a lot. Very similar to finishing a short story. So, I have one here that I'm going to read for y'all. It's called Anti-Arctic. Oh, that's a play on Antarctic. I love my little funny punny words. I love making them into little illustrations like that. So this one is a lot about climate change. This will give you a good overview of the kind of thematics of this collection. And what else can I say about it? It also talks about mining, the impact that collecting resources has on the earth, so it's similar to climate change essentially. And it creates an apocalyptic scenario through the lyrics, and also the distinguishing difference of classes in regards to the climate, catastrophe, the impact that the upper class and the corporations have on it comparatively to the lower class people, the impoverished. They have the people who can do something about it doing the worst, having the worst impact on the earth. So a bit of class divide as well for your late afternoon. So this is anti-Arctic. Let's read it, shall we? It's going to be hard not to do this in a screaming voice. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do it with some rhythm. We'll see. Anti-Arctic. Slinging your ice pick, it's cathartic. Lament the time spent to achieve the omnipotent. Turn on the... Hold on, let me start that again. I stumbled over my words. I want this to be a clean take. Anti-Arctic. Slinging your ice pick, it's cathartic. Lament the time spent to achieve the omnipotent. Turning on the turning sun. Put that power into your gun. Shoot it at a wall of ice. Watch as the sea does rise. Now millions are drowning for the Arctic apocalypse, a melting misery, still a mystery. Traded ice for fire, a mineral desire. They dream of sand and sun. Now the time has finally come. Swallowing beaches of ash, shrubbery that will not last, oceans of sinking sands. Cities will reach the sky. The impoverished all must die. Damn. Okay? Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff, okay? Hot diggity dog. Hey, thank you, Grumbly Ghost, for the claps. Yeah, like I said, this is inspired by metal music and a lot of my musical influences, in particular Meshuggah. Also, other similar ones that I will say that are heavily inspirational to this are The Ocean. They do a lot of stuff about climate change. Their albums in particular, I will say, are really cool because they're each a different, what are they called? Epoch, a different epoch. Each album is named after a different epoch. And the lyrical content is all about climate change and stuff like that. It's awesome. So that's a heavy influence. So that's why it's got this dark tone to it as well. Of course, it's inspired by that. I was going to say the comedic influence of my usual writing is definitely void of this project. Yeah, it's my foray into metal lyrical writing, but we're doing our own thing with it. We're doing our own thing with it, guys. So that's Frozen Machinist, and that was Anti-Arctic. So, as I said, the Polyverse Discord will be the only place for now where you can find these poems. I'm going to be posting them over the week, one by one, starting with Anti-Arctic. And there's 8 of them. So there's 8 to sink your teeth into. Some long, some short. And yeah, that's all I want to do on this podcast, everyone. I just want to announce this new project that's in the works, that's partly finished. And Poly Podcast is the place where you're going to hear those kind of updates from myself, talk with the writer, about the polyverse at large. And what am I going to do now? I'm going to take off on my bike. I'm going to speed down the roads and get in some exercise and get home, get some food in my tummy. But yeah, thanks for coming by. And we'll see you on the next one. Toodaloo. Speed Demon Torkel indeed, yes. Dude, I really like that Texas Torkel. Americans have a particular way of, over pronouncing words. So I feel like it'll be Texas Torkel. Well, howdy there. I'm just from a little old place called Texas. I'm out here raising cattle and raising raising my hand to my wife. I don't know what they do in Texas. Oh, my Lord. So, yeah, that was the Poly Podcast. Raising hell. Yes, Texans. They're in the year 1952 still out in Texas. We're in the South, in the deep South, where we believe in horrible things still. But no, Texas is a very diverse state, of course. Amen, though. Love our good Lord. Ain't that right? Ain't that the truth? I love that about Texas, where you can get a burger and you can go to church on the same day. Yeah, actually a very progressive place now, I think now. Yeah, I think especially the cities in Texas. I know a lot of people move out there to escape taxes. A lot of rich people. So yeah, I think Texas is very diverse. But hey, Texas has got nothing on Australia and on WA. Texas thinks they got a lot of land. Come down to Australia. Come down to Australia, mate. We got a lot of land in Australia, right? Think everything's bigger in Texas? Nah, mate. Nah. Everything's huge in Australia. It's Texas, not Texas. No taxes in Texas. It may sound the same, but we know the difference. Don't you know it? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We don't pay no taxes. Don't pay no taxes in Texas. That's damn sure. Keep your taxes to yourself when you come to Texas. I'm Texas Torkel. Imagine if I just moved out to Texas. Nah. No way. No, I don't. Yeah, I could live in certain parts of the US for sure. Some of the more nature parts where there's some hiking and some climbing. But not for me. Though I would go to I do want to go to the US one day to go to an NBA basketball game. I'm sure Emma would love it. Yeah, no way. But Emma wants to travel, so. But I would want to go to a basketball game in Texas. See, there's San Antonio Spurs. There's the Houston Rockets. There's the Dallas Mavericks. I think those are the 3 Texas teams. And they all have something to watch. They're all pretty good. Well, San Antonio Spurs are really bad, but they've got a really good player on their team. So, basketball talk. So I would watch any of those teams down in Texas. I've heard Houston is the fattest city in the world. That was years ago. I don't know if that's still true. Go down to Houston and get me some good old eating. I've heard Dallas has really good vegan food. There was a vegan podcast I listened to, and they always talked about Dallas. More teams that you can bounce a ball at. Yeah. More, because it used to be throwing peaches in a basket. More peaches than you could fit in a basket down in Texas. Pow. Oh, yeah. Ain't that right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. Well, we've had some good moments on this stream. This has been a nice time. a nice little doozy for us to end our evening on. On your bike, mate. On your bike. Yeah, too true, mate. Too true. I hope you all have a lovely new year. That's what I will say. Hope you all have a lovely new year. Hope you all have a happy holidays and you've had a great December. And I wish you all the best. Like I said, I'm trying to stay more positive these days. I know I recognize a lot of the bad in the world and I condemn a lot of the bad. And I want to bring out a positive message as well as condemning the bad. So hope you all have a lovely time going into 2024. I hope you all have healthy, wholesome goals, and I wish you all luck in achieving them. I believe in you, quite frankly. I believe in you in being able to achieve what you wish. I'm wishing you all the best luck for 2024. I know this is tough times out there for a lot of people. It's tough times. And I'm hoping 2024, new Thor movie. Hoping 2024 has some upsides and some positive times for you. I hope it gets better. So I'm wishing y'all all the best. And yeah, we're out here hustling. New Nordic Law, 2020 Thor. They have to release a new Thor movie on 2020 Thor. Though I have a feeling that I haven't heard anything about filming any new ones. Though they did just release a new one like this year, right? What was it called? Love and Thunder? Love and Thunder. That was a good one too. That was one of my favorite comics. Gore the God Butcher in the Thor comics. That was awesome. Played by Christian Bale. Yeah, that was a good movie. Hey, it came out 2022. Damn. Time goes fast, everyone. Time goes fast. Enjoy and get the most enjoyment out of the time that you can. Spend it with loved ones. And that's about all the positive messages that we have to say for now in the Polyverse. Like I said, join the Discord if you want to come and join us. You know, we'll be hanging out in there. I'm going to be posting some poems in there. Grumbly Ghost shared an awesome short story in there that he's been working on. Have a read of that too. We got musicians, we got artists, we got everything. Oh, we just missed a call from my dad. So that is cause for me to go because I will call him back to see what he wants. So adios, everyone. It's been a good time. Thanks for tuning in to Poly Podcast episode 19. Thanks for chatting, Grumbly Ghost. Thanks for the follow earlier. Let's see who that was. It was like something Riot. That was a new member of the cult. A new member of the cult. Yes, indeed. I'm not going to find it now. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Appreciate you. And yeah, I can't find it. But we welcome everyone into the Polyverse. Adios. Until next time, y'all. This is Texas Torkel signing out. Howdy.